Hey there, ready to unlock some Sistine Chapel secrets? I mean, everyone's seen pictures of that ceiling, right?
Right.
But we're about to go deeper thanks to the fascinating sources use and official stuff from the Vatican museums, some intriguing Wikipedia finds. Get ready for art history, papal trauma, and maybe even a bit of scandal.
Sounds intriguing. I'm ready.
That's the beauty of these deep dives. We sift through the info so you don't have to. So imagine yourself standing right there in the Sistine Chapel. But before you crane your neck at those frescoes, let's rewind a bit. The Vatican Museum's own website makes a point of saying this isn't just some pretty room.
Yeah, I noticed that.
They call it a place of worship and the seat of the conclave, emphasizing its purpose beyond just the art. It's about making those biblical stories accessible. Was that common for churches back then to be so visually driven?
Absolutely. Think of it this way. During the Renaissance, art was undergoing a revolution, much like the way we consume information today. While many churches were adorned with art to inspire the faithful, the Sistine Chapel was unique for a few key reasons. Firstly, there's the sheer scale and grandeur of the frescoes. Then, there's the fame of the artists themselves, particularly Michelangelo. And importantly, the Sistine Chapel wasn't just a place for quiet contemplation. It was, and still is, a stage for high drama.
You mean the papal conclaves, right?
Exactly.
Choosing a new pope?
Uh-huh.
I'd almost forgotten that all goes down right there under those masterpieces. And speaking of which, did you know the first conclave held there was way back in 1492? Wikipedia tells me it was to elect Pope Alexander VI, a guy not exactly known for being, shall we say, a saint.
Alexander VI, let's just say he embodies the intrigue and, at times, the turbulent politics of the Renaissance papacy. But you're right to focus on the conclave. Just imagine the scene. Cardinals secluded in the chapel, sworn to secrecy. A temporary wooden floor is even installed, symbolizing their equal footing during the election. The canopies, signifying their individual status, used to be a tradition, but were discontinued to accommodate the growing number of cardinals. Ballots are cast. Anticipation builds with every puff of smoke from the temporary chimney. It's a process steeped in tradition and drama, all playing out beneath those magnificent frescoes.
Okay, I'm getting chills picturing that. But let's talk about the art itself. I mean, everyone knows Michelangelo painted Seattle.
You'd think so, but
But the Vatican Museum's website casually mentions he was actually painting over someone else's work. That's some high-stakes renovation right there.
you'd be surprised how common that practice was. The Sistine Chapel, before Michelangelo's iconic touch, was adorned with frescoes commissioned by Pope Sixtus V himself, hence the name, by the way.
Oh, okay.
These earlier works, created by a team of artists like Botticelli and Perugino, depicted scenes from the lives of Moses and Christ. Interestingly, and Wikipedia highlights this, the choice of mostly Florentine artists for this initial project might be linked to the Medici family's influence at the time. It's a fascinating glimpse into the complex relationship between art, patronage, and power during the Renaissance.
Always follow the money, right. Okay, but back to Michelangelo. The Vatican Museum site describes his goal as translating into visible forms the invisible beauty and majesty of God. Sounds pretty intense. Yet Wikipedia paints a different picture, literally. Apparently, Michelangelo was not happy about this whole ceiling gig.
It's true, and that contrast is where things get interesting. Michelangelo considered himself a sculptor, first and foremost. Letters and accounts from that time reveal he saw this commission as a major interruption to his real work. He even suspected his rivals, particularly the architect Bramante, of using the commission to sabotage him.
Wait, there's a rivalry involved. Tell me more.
Well, there's this story about Michelangelo rejecting Bramante's scaffolding design for the ceiling. He claimed it would damage the walls and insisted on building his own. It was a risky move, but it speaks volumes about Michelangelo's stubbornness, his dedication to his craft, and perhaps a bit of healthy competition with Bramante.
And get this. Wikipedia mentions he painted the ceiling standing up, not lying down. I mean, talk about a backache waiting to happen.
Yeah.
Clearly, this wasn't some relaxed art project.
Not in the slightest. It was a physically demanding feat of artistry and engineering. Remember, we're talking about hundreds of figures, intricate details, all on a massive scale. The fact that Michelangelo accomplished this standing up, on scaffolding he built himself, speaks to the sheer dedication and physicality of his work.
Okay, I'm getting tired just thinking about it, but that's Michelangelo for you, a total rock star of the Renaissance.
Not.
Speaking of intense, though, can we talk about the Last Judgment fresco? It's not exactly subtle, is it? Both the Vatican Museums and Wikipedia mention how controversial it was, and not just because of a little nudity. What was it about this particular work that got everyone so riled up?
You're right, it goes beyond just nudity. You have to remember the context. The Last Judgment wasn't created in a vacuum. This was a time of intense upheaval, both within the church and in the world at large. The sack of Rome in 1527 had just shaken the foundations of the Catholic Church, and the Protestant Reformation was in full swing. People were questioning everything.
So Michelangelo is working during this time of intense religious and political change. Did that uncertainty find its way into his art?
Absolutely. Think of the Last Judgment as a reflection of that turbulent time. It's raw, emotional, and unapologetically human, even amidst the divine drama. Some saw it as a powerful affirmation of faith, while others viewed it as a scandalous departure from tradition.
Okay, I'm seeing how one piece of art could become such a flashpoint. What about the actual content of the fresco? What was Michelangelo going for there?
Imagine this. Christ at the center, but not the serene figure we often see. This is a powerful, almost athletic Christ, his arm raised in judgment. Surrounding him is this whirlwind of humanity, the saved ascending to heaven, the damned cast into darkness. It's not a gentle reminder of divine justice. It's an in-your-face portrayal of humanity's fate.
Well, I can see why some people might have found that a bit intense, especially after the chaos of the sack of Rome. It's definitely not your typical Sunday school art.
Exactly. And then there are the stories surrounding it. There's a famous anecdote about Biagio da Cesena, the Pope's master of ceremonies. He criticized the nudity in the fresco, saying it belonged in a brothel, not a sacred space.
Oh, no, he did not just say that to Michelangelo. I've heard about this. Didn't Michelangelo get his own back?
He did. Michelangelo painted da Cesena into the Last Judgment as Minos, the judge of the underworld, complete with donkey ears to symbolize his foolishness. And the best part? When da Cesena complained to the Pope supposedly said his jurisdiction didn't extend to hell, so the portrait would have to stay.
Classic Michelangelo. But speaking of the nudity controversy, Wikipedia mentions that whole breeches painter incident. It sounds almost comical now, someone having to go in and cover up all the offensive bits.
It does, doesn't it? The poor artist tasked with that job was Daniele da Volterra, actually a talented painter in his own right, but he's mostly remembered for trying to make Michelangelo's work more palatable to conservative tastes. He even earned the nickname Il Bragatone, the breeches maker.
Talk about a blow to your artistic legacy. But it does make you think, doesn't it? These debates about censorship, what's considered appropriate or offensive in art, they're still going on today.
Absolutely. The Sistine Chapel reminds us that art has always been a battleground for these kinds of debates. It's a reflection of its time, but it also transcends its time by prompting us to ask those same questions centuries later.
So true. Okay, before we move on, I have to ask about the restoration of the ceiling. Cleaning a masterpiece like that seems terrifying. I mean, what if they damaged something?
It was a massive undertaking spanning decades, and as Wikipedia points out, it sparked quite a bit of controversy. The central issue was about the techniques used by Michelangelo and how those techniques should guide the restoration.
So what's the big deal about different techniques? It's all just paint, right?
Not quite. There are different ways to paint frescoes. One technique is called buon fresco, where you apply pigment to wet plaster so the color binds with the wall as it dries. It's incredibly durable, but also unforgiving. You essentially get one shot to get it right. Then there's a secco, which means painting on dry plaster. It allows for finer details, but is much more delicate and prone to flaking over time.
Okay, so two different techniques, different levels of difficulty. I'm guessing this is where Michelangelo comes in.
You got it. The restorers, by studying the lunettes, those arched sections above the main scenes, concluded that Michelangelo used buon fresco almost exclusively for the ceiling. Their reasoning was that any grime or discoloration they saw was simply dirt and pollution obscuring the original brilliance of the colors.
So they basically gave the ceiling a deep clean, like removing centuries of candle smoke and grime.
Essentially. And that's where the controversy arose. Some experts argued that Michelangelo had factored in that aging process, that he knew those darker layers would develop over time. They believed he took that into account when choosing his colors and creating his contrasts. By stripping away those layers, did the restoration actually make the frescoes too bright, too clean, essentially erasing a crucial element of Michelangelo's artistic vision?
That is a fascinating point. It's like assuming a photographer didn't intend for their photos to be in black and white, even if they were developed that way. If Michelangelo wanted those super vibrant colors, couldn't he have just mixed the pigments differently in the first place?
Exactly. And that's a debate that continues today. Did the restoration reveal the true Michelangelo, hidden beneath grime for centuries? Or did it create a Michelangelo we'd never seen before, perhaps one he never intended? It's a question that continues to fascinate art historians and anyone who looks up at that magnificent ceiling.
It's mind-blowing, really, to think we might never know for sure what Michelangelo truly intended those figures to look like. Okay, we've talked a lot about the Last Judgment, but what about those earlier frescoes on the side walls,
Mm-hmm.
the ones Michelangelo didn't paint over? Are there any hidden gems there we should know about?
Oh, absolutely. They're like this whole other layer of the Sistine Chapel experience.
Totally. It's easy to get laser focus on that ceiling, but those side walls are incredible.
Right. Like I was looking at Botticelli's Trials of Moses.
Oh, beautiful, isn't it? It's amazing. All those figures, the details. It's just incredible he could do that.
And it's not just a standalone piece. All those frescoes on the side walls, they were meant to be seen as a whole.
Oh, really? Like a story.
Exactly.
Yeah.
From the creation to the coming of Christ, it's all there.
Wow, so you're meant to walk along the walls and see the whole narrative unfold.
Exactly, like a visual Bible in a way.
That's incredible. So you've got Michelangelo's powerful scenes and then these earlier works that tell the whole story.
It's a feast for the eyes and the mind. And here's a fun fact. There's speculation that Botticelli might have snuck a self-portrait into his Trials of Moses fresco.
No way, seriously. Those little hidden details, I love that. Like a Where's Waldo for art history.
It's those kinds of details that make exploring art history so rewarding, isn't it? And it makes you wonder, what else are we missing? What else is hiding in plain sight in the Sistine Chapel, just waiting to be discovered?
It's almost too much to take in. This one space with so much history, so much drama, so much incredible art. It's kind of overwhelming in a good way. So as we wrap up this deep dive, what would you say is the one big takeaway? What should stick with our listeners?
I think it's the power of art. The Sistine Chapel is more than just a pretty place or even just a religious space. It's a testament to the enduring power of art to move us, to challenge us, to spark conversations that span centuries.
That's so true. It's like this dialogue between the artists, the people who commissioned the works, and then us looking at it all these years later, still finding new meaning.
Exactly. It's a reminder that art isn't static. It's something we engage with, and it speaks to us in different ways across time.
Beautifully said. So, to our listeners out there, next time you see that iconic ceiling, remember, it's more than just a pretty picture.
It's a story.
It's a mystery. It's a testament to human talent, ambition, and maybe even a little bit of stubbornness.
And don't forget the drama. All that papal intrigue, the rivalries, the controversies, it's all there on those walls.
And it's still unfolding, even today.
Exactly.
That's why we love these deep dives, right?
Yeah.
There's always more to uncover. Thanks for joining us for this incredible journey into the Sistine Chapel. We'll be back soon with another deep dive into a whole new topic. Until then, keep exploring.